Okay, I'll put this back just to show you again. Now I'm back. I did not have the little clips in here, but usually there are two clips that look just like these here, and I just take my little clip removal tool. Let's see if I can find it. Oh my gosh, I found a very dirty one. Anywho, you'll just put it under those tips to kind of lift that up. Put that under the tip of the head. Anyways, lift that up, lift that out. I'm going to get my battery out. I am kind of lazy, but so normally I do this with my ratchet tool. Try not to let that touch anything there. Usually doesn't take very much. My battery is already loose. In fact, my TCM is just kind of hanging out right now because literally just got this guy back up and running yesterday. Clearly I did not loosen that enough. Let's get this off. Ooh, that's a lot. Probably didn't need to loosen it that much, but that's okay. All right, I'm also trying to do this with one hand, so we'll see how that goes. All right, battery is out. Then we're just gonna pull out this box. Again, all my stuff is like really loose because I've been doing this so much. Sorry, I need both hands so I can pull and pull, push and pull at the same time. So I'm just gonna sit you down for a second. Boom. All right, so pull that out. Box is out, and so down here you have what they call the gear actuator. I just found a screw from I don't even know what, so that should be interesting. I was working on a different car yesterday. Anyways, so this here is a gear actuator. I'm going to show you what I did because this could be of interest possibly if you like to tear things up while trying to figure out what is going on with the car. So what I did, let's see if I can get a good picture of it here. Oh, this isn't even down. Oh, that's because I did crazy things. So I don't know if I'll be able to get this off while it's still in here. It usually takes a lot of force. But as you can see, this one is black. And usually it's gray to gray and black to black. But because I wasn't sure if the actuators themselves were the issue or not, I essentially modified these so that I could switch them around. Yeah, it's not coming off right now. I'll show it to you once I get it out. I need to replace this because I'm not going to keep these modified ones in there. I have new ones. And I'm just going to keep the same body and replace the actuators. But it's just 1, 2, 3, 12 millimeters. And then these two, I think they're 10 millimeters here. There's one up top here and one over there. Once you get this out of your way, that's pretty good. I'm going to try it one more time, just so I can show you guys how I modified it. Nope. Okay. I mean, I changed the wiring harness. I thought it was everything. And maybe I can get this one off here. It's a better angle for me. Yeah. So you see on this one, I basically switched them around and I had the same issue. But it reversed just because I couldn't change the wires, if that makes sense. But that makes me know that the actuators themselves were still working. And I basically just kind of cut off those little lines that made them specific to each of these colored plugs. So it's a good test to try if you just want to know if your actuator is the issue, whoops, or something else. So anywho, then the real nitty gritty, I'm gonna move this out the way as well. Again, I removed all those screws in my battery holder and all that good stuff, so that way I could easily access the top of the transmission and essentially get the okay, I cannot do this with one hand either. Sorry, I'm trying to get the transmission unplugged, I mean the TCM computer back out of the way here. I actually don't need to, but I'm just going to show you guys. If you want to get down here, this is the best way, at least for me, to take off the actuator. So I'm going to remove this box. I, at one point, was doing it with this still in. Oh, man, my glove ripped already. And, you know, it was okay, but it's much easier this way to take it all out. And then you can see all of your plugs here. So it's literally just unclamp this. There's the black one down there that goes straight into that clutch actuator. And then this one, mine is broken, so I can literally just pull it up right now if I wanted to. And I actually found it easier to go ahead and remove this inhibitor switch as well. So this is a 14 millimeter nut, which mine is not tight at all. Oops, that shows you I've been playing with that. And there's two 10 millimeters. Just be careful when you're taking it out. When you put it back, make sure that your inhibitor switch is still reading the correct park, neutral, you know, all that good stuff. If it's not, you just kind of have to swivel it around to make sure it's in the right position. Anywho, so there is this thing right here is the gear actuator, and this is what I ended up having to adjust to restore my reverse. And funny enough, the top one is the odd gears, which my odd gears were all actuating fine. In this particular case, it kept saying, when I went through all the gears, like on my scanner, it kept saying 6th gear error. Every once in a while, I have a reverse error. They don't have a 2nd gear error. 4th gear was like almost always okay. But if you're having that 6th gear that won't click through, or essentially your car will not reverse, it is most likely this guy that has either failed or just needs to be readjusted. In my case, like I said, I was renting this car out and it is just not built for that. So it was trying to adjust the rods and the links actually got too long. And so again, to remove that, I usually move this inhibitor switch out of my way, and under there's a screw. I don't know if I can get the camera to show it. Yep, there's a little screw right there. I removed this thing so many times, so my screws are a hot mess. These are 12 millimeters, so I usually just take my little wrench and go in on that one. And there's another one in the bottom right corner. In fact, you know, I was doing this so much that I didn't even lift the car up to get to the bottom ones. So there's one more back here under these plugs. There's a screw, 12 millimeter. Oh gosh, you can't see it. There we go. 12 millimeter right there. So there's 3 up top and 3 on the bottom. I'll go down here and show you the bottom. So under the car here. Again, I'm lazy, so I'm not actually going to jack the car up. And so there's these 3 here. And there's a 10 millimeter little strap there, ground strap. And I will also say I use a, what do you call these things? One of those little guys. I can't think of the name, like a crowbar type thing. And that's what I actually use to hold the clutch fork back, so you can see where it's been sitting and kind of jacking up my transmission. But it's a lot cheaper than buying whatever that tool is that Kia recommends. So I just use one of those, stick it in there, rig it up. That's why I have a little bungee cord. And that helps pull it back. And as I'm putting it back in, I'll use that to kind of pull itself back over. It's a process. So essentially what I did this time was I only adjusted this bottom one because I could drive forward. I just couldn't reverse. So the reverse is even gears, and that would be that bottom actuator right here. So I took it out, and you can adjust it right there. You just push it down. There's a lot of videos on showing how to adjust these, but not a lot that explain why you might need to adjust them. Because I wish I would have known that before replacing the clutches the first time. Anywho, the dealers also just said, like, oh, it's your fluid was dirty. I was like, my fluid was not dirty. In fact, when I checked it, I had just changed it before I took it up to them because that was my first inclination. But anyways, they just didn't know what they were doing. And it ended up just simply being, I needed to shorten this actuator rod. So I shortened it. I do have the little, I don't know, stand. So I have the stand that you put it on. I used to have another one I could have showed you, but I sold it. So here is the little stand. You just sit it there, and you can tighten up the things and read the length of the rods. I'll be honest with you, my rod was at like 62 for both the forward and reverse, or I guess the even in the odd, and I ended up putting that even one down to like 54 before it actually caught. So don't be discouraged. Like if you can drive forward but can't reverse, adjust your actuator rod down. It may seem odd, but try it that way. I would say probably if you get lower than 50, it's probably not going to work. You need to replace your clutches, but yeah. Don't adjust the other one. If you have forward, if you adjust it, you're probably going to lose forward. So if you do, just write down where they are before so you can always get back to where you are. Hopefully this helps someone, because I literally could not find anything except replace your clutches, and I knew that was wrong. I don't know why they don't have some sort of recall for this car, because it's literally ridiculous that it cannot adjust itself correctly. And I mean, car was like overheating. You would smell the clutches burning. I was like, what is happening? So hopefully, again, this helps someone. I'm making a mess over here. I'm going to replace these, my little modified actuators. I've got some new ones off of another gear assembly. So thanks, guys.